Okay, I'm the recently appointed marketing coordinator at NUS, and I'll be running today's webinar. So, the webinar is designed to give you some information regarding our marketing campaigns and also ideas on how you can boost your NUS Extra card sales. The aim is to give you enough information to then go on and push NUS Extra sales within your union and therefore help to make more action. So a little bit about the WebEx webinar platform. We will have a short presentation to begin with. This is the bit where we can give you lots of juicy information to digest. We'll get your hand copy of the presentation once the webinar is finished. You will know you are listed on the right-hand side of the screen. You are currently muted, so nobody can hear you. I understand that if you're not able to have a mic to be able to speak, I'm not sure whether you're able to speak well, Jonathan, but we will unmute you here, Jonathan, to see if you're able to talk.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, you okay?
Hi, yeah, you.
Yeah, very well, thank you. I'm just going to unmute you again now, but during the Q&A session after the presentation is complete, we'll unmute again just to see if you have any questions. Is that all right?
Okay, no problems.
Okay. So chat box in the bottom right-hand corner, and obviously, Eve, feel free to ask any questions as you want. We have someone waiting to answer your questions throughout the whole presentation. Okay, so onto the presentation. We'll try and keep this nice and short so we can move on to the Q&A platform. I'd like to keep the presentation to approximately under an hour. To the NUS Extra HU 2016 webinar with a specific focus on boosting sales. This webinar we've run after receiving feedback from the first in December, and so we have decided to make them a monthly action until the exchange itself in April. I'd like on numbers to begin with, if I may. Because the sales of the NUS Extra card brings commission to your union, for every card that your students buy online, your union will earn £4.70 in commission. That number increased to £8.60 for a tier card, and then to £12 for a tier card. If you buy a card via an on-campus printer, the commission earned by your union is greater. So £5 for a one-year card, £8.90 for 2 years, and £12.30 for a 3-year card. Bringing commercial revenue in the union is vital, and it helps to support all the essential services you provide free to your students, advice centres, societies, and volunteering opportunities. Beyond looking at initially is promotion of the card and ensuring you are using as many available channels as possible. Up for our NUS Extra core point of sale. You can load and order free NUS Extra materials from NUS Connect. To test visibility, make sure you are pushing them out via every channel you have available. For example, via your website, social media platforms, presses, spaces, and certifications for freestanding banners. Don't forget, if you have more than one campus, you'll need to order enough to cover them all. Make sure you proactive welcome week. I know freshers has been and gone, but by here this is important. Make sure an NUS Extra stroll for all fairs, freshers, society sign-ups, sports ups, jobs, volunteering, well, housing activities, any other fairs you may run. Include NUS Extra materials in your goodie bag. Well, we provide NZ cards for welcome week that will be covered in 2015. Make sure the free NUS Extra core digital assets to your website, social media, and any other digital platforms can run all year round so that you don't have to download them and have them already in place. So pop the to-do list. Also, the NUS Extra free core materials on your promotions. You should also run your Make Your Money Back campaign during Freshers Week to reach your sales. Peak. This is what the core materials for 2016-17 likely look. You can see this is an all year round, so plaster this for your campus with it. From Fresh Week 2016 stuff. It's a kind to help students understand just how easy it is to make their money back once they have bought the card. For example, just went to Pizza Express with their mates, getting a whopping 4% discount off the final bill would likely cover the £12 it costs to buy the card. So all of these things, and I've mentioned, well, for a few ideas. Have you thought about selling bundles? Include a hoodie, a ball ticket, and NUS extra card, buying voucher codes from NUS, using your societies and sports clubs to sell the cards, and running competitions to drive sales. Think of an extra presence all year round. Feature NUS extra on your website, but run our campaigns to keep the content and artwork fresh and interesting. NUS extra runs at least one campaign per month. Lots of content and exclusive offers from brands. Got to relaunch the NUS extra card now with 1 year free Isaac from the 1st of March. Just remember that this information is embargoed until that date. And will continue to receive emails and resources regarding this new launch. So from that, make sure that you add this information to your emails, e-newsletters, and all social media. Every stop can be on NUS Connect. Schedule a month on your social media platforms and throw in a cheeky competition every once in a while. Follow extra social media platforms, repost and retweet us, and we'll do the same for you. Don't forget to your staff. They are face-to-face sales channels and will become advocates for the card. Feature an extra in your e-newsletters. Use materials to help. And don't forget to push NUS extra at key times of the year: freshers, Christmas, refreshers, elections, and graduations. Pushing the not-for-profit message, make sure you're real to your students and demonstrate where the profits of any extra card goes, which in the way your union operates. Here's a pretty one. Push brands. There are 170 brands on the extra card offering discounts, of which 2/3 are exclusive discounts. It is important that the brands don't get forgotten and the brands that the students are most drawn to. Is also a great way of promoting the card, because your students can buy it and walk away with it in one swift transaction. So do you enter? If you do have one, set up click and collect. If the answer is no to either of those questions, please do pop us a quick message into the chat box and we can get someone from our auction team to get in touch with you who can help. We are a major software update on all of our printers in early 2016, so if you're looking to have a new printer installed, or if you're looking to set up click and collect, you have to hang fire until the new software update is complete, but it'll be well worth the wait. So a little bit of daydreaming now. Imagine you has 10,000 student members and you sold an NUS extra card to 10% of them. That would mean a whopping £4,700 in commission to your union. Now I might push that up to 20%. And that jumped to 9,400. So hold it again and went for 40%. That's a great big 18,800 earned in commission. And finish the boat out and go for 50%. It's bringing in almost 25,000 in commission, wouldn't it? Seeing a bit far-fetched, I promise you I'm not. One NU decided to put a little extra effort into selling the NUS extra card this year and managed a huge 80% increase in the sales and already earned almost 10,000 in commission since July. And that's a true story. We have NUS Extra Resource Bank available to you online. It's got NUS Connect and houses sales tips, marketing materials, and information on card types and sales channels. It's all free and you don't need to log to access it. You are up to free printed and digital resources to help you sell this extra card. Head to the resources section on NUS Connect to order your download your materials. That works. We have a service team who are on hand to answer any of your queries. You can contact them via telephone or email. And we have a membership engagement team. These are field-based account managers who are allocated certain unions within their region to have NUS queries. So now we need to talk about keeping in touch. You like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. By simply liking and sharing our posts, you'll be promoting the card and helping your union to earn money. Just to talk about the Exchange 2016. 2016 is a set of 2 events we will be holding in April this year. The aim is to help student unions increase sales by urging them to buy into the first 2016 campaign, to increase your extra card sales and therefore make more commission for your union. But with NUS extra core materials for the new academic year, we will also launch the Welcome Freshers event. Get your hands on all these resources. Sales tips, net with SUs to help you to share best practice. On the 25th and 26th of April, Monday the 25th will be at Sheffield Hands SU, and Tuesday 6th will be at City University London. Both events taking place between hours of 10 and 4 p.m. We'll post a link to where to find the registration for the Exchange on Connect. We accommodate as many people as possible by placing these events in the north and south with Sheffield and London. It's important that you attend if you can. We will need you to register to attend using the link in the chat box. We'll make sure that we email you. You'll need to order your NUS extra core assets via NUS Connect and you'll include your extra Welcome Freshers Week campaign in your marketing. For example, if you send anything out to your students over the summer, make sure to include details of NUS extra card and ink to buy it. Feedback. If you find this webinar helpful, please let us know and we'll make sure to run some more, either myself or my colleague Rachel Moss, and make sure that we have this webinar available on NUS Connect so you can access it after we've finished. So, or a to-do list if you prefer. Use extra core POS materials ready by April 2016, launched at the Exchange events. Use demand materials, do not use the old NUS extra branded materials. Run the campaign during Freshers and Welcome Week, involved with local discounts, which will be ready by 2016 April at the Exchange events. Discounts not as part of your Make Your Money Back. Attend Exchange in either the 12th or the 26th. Connect to familiarize yourself with the resource section and look through our 2 guides, including sales tips. Like, follow, repost, and retweet us on our social media. And then open up the floor for our Q&A. This is your opportunity to ask anything and we'll do our best to answer it. I've got manager Rachel Moss ready, pending on hand to answer any questions you may have. So I'm just going to unmute you really quickly. And if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box. So Jonathan, how did you find that?
Yeah, there was, it's a decent presentation and something that I can take back to sort of like the staff that are on the front line as well to and to discuss with. I think it's the main aspect for is the main one really, making sure that everything's in place ready for for then, because as you know, the SUs are really busy on the run up to for freshers and things tend to pushed aside, and then when it comes to it, all of a sudden you think, oh damn, freshers is here, we've got to do this, and really sometimes in the past we haven't been as prepared for it as we could have been. So I think for us, the summer is key to get freshers right and set our stuff from there. There's a couple of questions really that I've got around click and collect.
Sure.
So how is click and collect? Because we're not using it at the moment. We've got a campus printer. It's currently broken, I'm afraid, so it's going back to get repaired today. But how is that working, and is it beneficial to have?
Jonathan, I'm Rachel. As Bill mentioned, I'm the marketing manager here. So in terms of click and collect, it's quite straightforward. When you just print it, it's simply a case of requesting that click and collect is enabled, which we can do for you, particularly seeing as your printer's out for repair at the moment. and obviously we're due the on-campus software upgrades for all our printers in preparation for the launch of the new NUS Extra with 306. With Click and Collect, the way that it works for a student is that when they place their order online, currently the opportunities for delivery are limited to home delivery, or they can have it delivered to their union where they can collect it. With Click and Collect, what that means is that's the third delivery option that's available to them, and if they select that option, you at the union will get a notification that says somebody's bought a card and they've selected Click and Collect, can you please print this card? So what that means is they've processed everything online, it's gone through WorldPay, you don't have to process that transaction. However, you've got a notification, you pop the card in the printer, and they can just pop and collect it whenever it suits them. So the benefit to you guys is that you don't have to process the transaction as such, you just need to print the card. And the benefit to the student is that they can do the actual transaction at their leisure. They could be sitting on a mobile phone having a cup of coffee, or they could do it mid-lecture if they're particularly bored. And then they can just pop down to their union as and when it suits them to collect it. That could be immediately, or it could be just sort of, next time they're on campus if they live off campus, for example. But in terms of getting it set up, when your software is upgraded, you will be asked whether you would like Click and Collect enabled, and then so you can actually just choose to use that option. Our students do find it really beneficial, so if it is the kind of thing you want to give it a go at, that would definitely be something I would recommend you have a go with.
Yeah. So the software is upgraded, sort of like as such. So there's different options on there when we upgrade it to Click and Collect.
Yeah, I mean the upgrade, it's not to the hardware itself, it's only to the software, and you will get new card stock, so that when the upgrade takes place, they'll remove your old cards to give you the new ones that have got the Isaac branding on there, and as the technician is there doing those bits and pieces, they will mention Click and Collect to you, and that's when you can say, yes, please can you enable it, because it's a software tick box, for want of a better phrase. So all you need to do is enable that for you, and then it's up and running there, and then it's very straightforward. And in terms of how you actually process it, it's very straightforward. You simply get a notification to say, these are the details, can you please print the card?
Cool, okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And obviously from a commission point of view, it still counts as an on-campus printed.
So it's a £5 per 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Cool, okay.
Do you have a question as well, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, am I still all right to ask questions?
Of course, yeah.
Ask as many as you've got, Jonathan.
Okay, so we currently sort of like, we haven't ventured sort of like onto the high street to try and get local retailers. So I guess, is that something that we can do? Get them to be sort of like almost like, a participant of giving sort of like discount on showing an NUS Extra card. Is that something to do, or we could do?
Yeah, it's our colleague Gemma that looks after our local discount. So if you'd like a little bit more information on doing that, I can certainly get somebody to send some information across to you. Would you like me to do that, Jonathan?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's no problem at all.
Great. Okay. And sort of the other thing was, you mentioned something about voucher codes. Now, I've heard a little bit about this, but voucher codes something sort of like to do with being able to do sort of like NUS Extra card to freshers during sort of like on arrival or something. How does that work? Okay,
so basically the way voucher codes works is, as an affiliate union, you can buy NUS Extra cards for £6.36, and that's like a really odd number, but basically when you take off the commission that's payable to your union, any VAT and other bits and pieces that fall into that, the amount that's left is £6.36, and what that means is you can buy them at £6.36, and you can then choose to give away, or you can choose to sell them at £12. Excuse me. So if you choose to give them away, the cost to you is £6.36. You obviously won't earn any commission on that, but it's an opportunity for you to give away at a reduced price. So they're really good incentives for certain things. So it might be that you want to just buy a small number to get somebody to a particular event. It could be that you want to broker a deal with your university where they make the purchase so that all the first years get one. If you're looking at doing something like brokering with your university, I suggest you get in touch with us directly, because what we can do is look at helping you to protect your commission if that's the case. And basically, if they can buy the codes at a discounted rate, they're not paying the full £12. So in terms, there are benefits to you, but I wouldn't necessarily suggest that buying them to sell the £12 is going to benefit you in any great way, because you've got your on-campus printer. But it is a benefit if you're looking at buying in an incentive that you can then give to your students, because at £6.36 per student is a really good price to pay. It's not cheap, it's something that you can do nice and easily, and it could be that you can look at bundling together. So if you wanted to sell a ball ticket, a hoodie and an NUS extra card, it could be that if you bought your extra code for £6.36, you could go on to sell your tickets and hoodies and your extra cards for a reduced price than what it will be if they paid full price, if you see what I mean. So it's just an opportunity for you there, really, to see what you want to do with that. But like a lot of users are starting to break deals with their university to get first year's a free NUS extra card. So if that's something that you're interested in and you do want to protect your commission, I just suggest you pop me an email and we can go through that together.
Yeah, I suppose at the exchange events in April, I guess that's a good opportunity to do networking.
Yes.
Are you able to provide sort of like any details of university or student unions that have done voucher code deals with the university, that have been, successful for them? So
yeah, Middlesex did one fairly recently, also Teesside. We're currently working with another couple of unions, so Southampton, Solent and Suffolk on campus. They're looking at doing a couple of deals as well, and Derby also looking at doing some deals. So there are quite a few who are dipping their toe in this pool, and basically they have managed to broker a deal with us, reduced rate to offer to their university, which means that the commission is protected and that the university is getting a good deal as well. So there are student unions that are doing it, but if it is something that you're looking at doing, I do suggest you come along, if you can at all, to the April exchange events, either in Sheffield or in London. Really, really good opportunity to see what other people are doing. We're hoping that we'll get a really good mix of students' unions at each of those who have tried lots of different things, so that we can share best practice and try and figure out what works for different universities, because some are big, some are quite small. We've got a mix of FE in there as well. So it's just a case of figuring out what works for each individual.
Yeah.
Does that sound okay?
No, that's fine.
Do you think you might be able to come along to the events, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm hoping that I can get to the Sheffield one, because obviously that's the one closest to me. That's what date was that? The
25th of April. That's a Monday.
Yeah, just checking my calendar. I think hopefully I will be able to get to that.
It'd be great if you could. Yeah, we've got really good numbers already registered for the Sheffield event, so it'll be a nice opportunity to network with lots of people, particularly within the Midlands and the North region. So really, really good opportunity. So fingers crossed that you can make it.
Yeah, and I noticed you've put the link on the NUS exchange event. That's for registering.
We have indeed.
Great. Okay. That's all questions I've got.
With the event, Jonathan, we will look into freshers plan as well, so giving you some real ideas on what you can do in lead up to that. So we are conscious that resource can be very, very stretched when it comes to the lead up to freshers. So we're hoping to make everyone's lives a little bit easier at the April event by sort of looking out all the different things that you can do by providing lots of useful digital and printed assets to make that easier.
Great.
Brilliant. Whilst you're on the phone, Jonathan, we're just going to have a quick look at a couple of messages that Eve has sent through in the chat box. So first one, she agrees that freshers planning is key. This is the first time I will be part of freshers planning from the beginning, as I only started in August. I feel there is definitely potential there to boost our sales, especially if we recruit some students to help us push it. I also think localising the offers would also help us dramatically. So Eve, will make sure that we send you some information about local offers as well. And you're absolutely right. In terms of freshers planning, I've actually come from a students' union myself. I was the sales and marketing manager at Kiel Students' Union before I go over here to NUS. And obviously there's so much that goes on in the preparation for freshers. It is easy to almost get NUS extra actually it's one of the most perfect opportunities to push it, because you are sending out so much communication to either all students or very specific groups, whether it's your first years, your returners, your postgrad, your international students. So it is a really good opportunity, especially with all the assets provided for free. So whether you choose to include something in a goodie bag at some of your fairs, or whether you choose to send something out in any postal mailings that you do over the summer, obviously you can include their cards and leaflets in that, for example. And if it is that you do your own handbooks, for example, just putting an NUS Extra advert in there, there's some really good opportunities available to you. And like you say, Eve, it could be a really easy opportunity for a sales boost. So we will go through freshers in quite a lot of detail at the April event. So fingers crossed that you can both make it. Eve, I appreciate my trek for you, but it would be great if you could come. So if you can, please do. Eve, if you wouldn't mind, if you could just pop a quick message in the chat box. I know it's a massive journey, but do you think you might be able to come along to one of those? There, let's just see if she sends a message. I think London will be easier to reach. Okay, great. Well, Eve, it can come at all. It will be absolutely brilliant to see you there, because I think obviously if this is your first lead into freshers, I think there's plenty that we can do to really help you. So I'm hoping, oh, that's great. So Eve said that she should be there for one of them, so that's great news. So fingers crossed that we will see you both. If you do have any questions at all that you think of after this webinar, Bill will be sending out an email to you both with the presentation attached, so that you can access that and you can see those slides as often as you need. And obviously, if you think of questions that pop up, please do just reply to Bill, and we're more than happy to help you. And obviously, we'll include the registration link for the exchange here as well. But thank you so much for both of you for joining us today. I'll just hand you over to Bill very quickly just to close off.
Yeah, thanks very much, everyone. I'll just for my email to follow up, and I'll include everything that we've just mentioned in there. So thanks very much and have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.